Hello, this is Dr. Emmet Miller. Now that you're able to relax mindfully, free yourself from distracting thoughts, and use your selective awareness to empower the higher parts of your mind, it's time to take a look at some of the specific issues you need to deal with in order to bounce back from your job loss. You probably have experienced some strong emotions as a result of being disconnected from your job, as well as from a whole set of familiar activities, support systems, and rewards connected with your job. You've probably been feeling some sadness, maybe anxiety and fear, perhaps frustration, anger, or even rejection, guilt, blame, shame, or a mixture of these or even other uncomfortable feelings. You may have also noticed a change in how you relate to other people, especially close family. Feelings of irritation or discouragement are common, and sometimes people tend to withdraw into their cave to be alone. If you related in any of these ways, for example, this may have caused some upset in those around you. Perhaps you've even noticed an increase in your smoking or alcohol usage, eating, or even use of drugs or medication. You may even have found yourself gambling more or even being flirtatious. All of these reactions are common in situations like yours. But seldom are they helpful, and usually they cause unhappiness, physical illness, and worst of all, they keep you from letting go of the past and surging forward into a positive future. That's because the ancient limbic system in your brain sees all threats as being life or death, and responds with behaviors designed to resist the world in the face of a current physical threat. Part of that reaction includes preventing the higher parts of your brain, such as your neocortex, especially your prefrontal neocortex, from consciously, mindfully analyzing the situation, developing goals and strategies, and putting your productive energies behind making your creative vision of the future a reality. Using your selective awareness to guide you into a deeply relaxed or meditative state sets you free, in the present moment, from these harmful behaviors of your brain and mind. So, we will begin by entering that relaxed state, fully letting go of the past, even while learning what it has to teach you. Two very strong feelings you probably know about are feelings of loss and of life seeming unpredictable and out of control. Now, feeling out of control is one of the most unsettling feelings for a human being. The monkey mind feels as if this is a fall from a tree to the ground below where the tigers are, a desperate situation. In an attempt to defend you and fight off the environment, your monkey mind might generate frustration, resentment, anger, or rage. You might find yourself blaming others for things or being overbearing with loved ones. Those feelings are not comfortable, but they feel better than feeling out of control. Other behaviors such as withdrawal, depression, and turning to escape behaviors, habits, and addictions also relieve the desperation, though temporarily, and they tend to create problems in the long run. The best way to escape from those traps is to remember the first line of the Serenity Prayer, to have the serenity to accept what I cannot change and apply it to your specific case. This means calmly accepting the truth of the moment. You have lost your job, and there's nothing that can make that not so. In medical school, the students use this somewhat tongue-in-cheek riddle to understand what the psychiatrist means by neurotic person. What's the difference between a normal person, a psychotic person, and a neurotic? Well, when you ask a normal person how much is 2 plus 2, they answer 4. When you ask a psychotic person how much is 2 plus 2, they say 19 or purple or Elvis Presley. When you ask a neurotic person how much is 2 plus 2, they say 4. But it really pisses me off. Crying over spilt milk isn't useful either. 2 plus 2 is 4, and you have lost your job, and you can't unspill milk. But right now, you have a different job to do. The job you need to do is to grieve your loss. Right now, you may not feel whole. Something has been lost. That's where all of these maladaptive behaviors come from. You can return to feeling whole again through the grieving process. Healing after an emotional wound is analogous to what happens when you heal after a physical wound, as when you mistakenly slice off the tip of your finger while making a salad or a birdhouse. Your finger starts to bleed blood. And in a similar manner, when you lose something as important as your job, your psyche, your sense of wholeness, begins to bleed energy. And it will keep bleeding that energy. And the symptoms you feel are the result of the loss of that psychic energy. Soon, however, your finger begins to hurt. It swells up. And the swelling doesn't feel good, but it stops the bleeding, and it initiates the healing process, and in a few days a scar covers the wound, and soon you're whole again. The grieving process after an emotional wound is also quite painful, because it acknowledges that you are, in a way, not whole, and are, in a way, out of control. But when you relax deeply and come into the present moment, you realize that you don't need to have any control at the moment. The air is breathing you, and your heart is sending the nurturance that you need to all the organs of the body. The escape behaviors now seem unnecessary. Then you can attend to the part within that feels injured. Perhaps you have been through loss and grieving before. Maybe you've supported a child who is crying over a loss, or maybe you've supported an adult dealing with a loss. Now you have an opportunity to give that kind of support to the tender part within yourself, that inner child. Find a comfortable place to lie down and go within. You may take a loved object or stuffy toy with you, if you'd like to represent that soft inner part of you. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths, imagining you are breathing in pure white light relaxation, and feel the letting go with each breath out. How freeing it is to your body to simply let go. Let your eyelids relax, closed, and let your eyelids relax all the way to the point they just don't want to open. Test them, feel that heaviness, and send that relaxation flowing from your eyelids throughout your entire body. And then stop breathing and let the air do the breathing for you. Effortlessly, settling into the pause after each breathing out and before the next breath comes in. Each breath emptying your mind of unnecessary thoughts, erasing distractions and concerns from your mental blackboard. And now double your relaxation. And to do that, in a moment I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and close them again. And as you do, your relaxation will double over what you have now. Open your eyes and close them. Good. And let your relaxation double. And as you test your eyelids again, let that doubled relaxation from your eyelids flow throughout all the rest of your body, more and more relaxed, more and more comfortable with each breath, as breath follows breath. Letting go of each previous breath to make room for the next fresh inflow of peace and energy. And give yourself your relaxation anchor. That's it. And now ride your magic carpet of imagination to your special place, your place of peace and serenity and love, your island of peace. Visualize it all around you, experiencing the beautiful things you see here, the colors, the movement, smelling the fragrances, feeling the textures. And you may wish to bring a loved one or a supportive guide or a spiritual being here to this place. Feeling within yourself the spiritual energy in this safe place and the presence of your inner wise one, however it appears to you. And sense your willingness to open to the truth of the present moment. Remaining relaxed as you gaze back through time and picture yourself back when you were working. See the job as it was, some good aspects, some not so good, and yet you recognize that you gave to it, and it gave you support and sustenance, a sense of accomplishment, income, connection with others. Be aware of the good things that you were able to receive and how they enriched your life then. And as you look back, you may feel some sense of loss, and if so, allow yourself to feel that loss. Feelings of sadness, feelings of sorrow. And you may find that there are parts of you that are trying to hold on. Breathe relaxation and love into all of these parts and allow them to release tension. And you may feel some pain with that loss, but that pain can flow through you, just as a cleansing rain clears the air, just as each cleansing breath flows through your being. And if your body needs to cry or sob, allow it to gently permit the cleansing tears, knowing that this is part of the healing. This is a part of the release of that internal tension. And if you need support, invite loved ones in, or any other special helpers or teachers who can remind you that this too shall pass. You might imagine yourself in the arms of a loved person, a parent or grandparent, the loving arms of the universe. And you let go. And you are becoming more whole. You are healing. You are becoming richer for all these experiences. And you can look back on that job experience and feel gratitude for having had that opportunity. For those moments were real, and you can honor those moments and feel grateful for the support, for the learning, for the friendship, for the personal growth, for the professional growth, for all the things you learned, perhaps allowing yourself to be aware of some of the valuable things that you will keep with you forever from that experience. Allow yourself to feel that gratitude for the spirit of all you have received. And make yourself a promise to use it well in the future and reinforce it with your confidence anchor. Good. Now take a deep breath in, and as you let it out, climb aboard your magic carpet again. And this time let yourself float up and away from the past, letting the past fade into the distance. And as you float forward in time to your image of the successful you in the future, thoughts of the past and things that are no more become more distant, and you begin to make out your positive future, knowing that you travel into your future more full, more complete, having learned, having grown. Picture yourself looking and feeling great, healthy, strong, confident, happy, and contented. Make it real. Step into it and feel these feelings. You feel whole. You feel complete. You feel the satisfaction of knowing you have met the challenges in your life with calm, inspired wisdom. And every time you imagine yourself the way you really want to be, you become more that person, because this is the person you really are, down deep inside, having grown through every experience you've had. And now, when you're ready, gently guide yourself back to your wide-awake state, in touch with the world around you in your physical environment, feeling filled with calm energy, alert, and ready for what you choose to do next. Good. Listen repeatedly to this guided imagery experience until you feel you have left the past, its memories, and all those feelings in the past. Sometimes you may choose to pause it at that point where you're feeling the feelings of grief, to pause and let yourself feel them more deeply, let them pass through, and then restart the imagery again, and let joy and success and fullness flow through you. Just as your body closes off by healing that cut place in your finger, you become more whole through your grieving, which is your psyche's way of closing off that wound. Now, having the support of someone you're close to and who believes in you is very valuable in completing the grieving. And if you find it overwhelming, then seek a counselor or therapist, and they may be able to help you further. After you've completed the grieving process, you want to be able to look back at what happened at your job objectively. Conditions changed, and it was inevitable that what happened would have happened. It was not a personal rejection, just business. Remember, feeling personal rejection, resentment, or anger, or guilt, or shame is just the monkey mind trying to be in control. You can relax. Let it all go. Continue to use deep relaxation and meditation to come into the serene present whenever those negative behaviors and thoughts come up. They're only thoughts, and useful ones at that. The sign you are completing your grieving is that you will find there's much more hopefulness, much more space to engage in fun and creative things, and you are ready to design the next adventure in your life. Good. And in addition to completing this grieving experience, make sure you continue to practice your deep relaxation and guided imagery to maintain your island of peace on a daily basis.